All right, what's poppin', party pundits? Welcome back to another episode of Pop Talk. This is your man, Professor Nims. I'm speaking on behalf of Boston Jared,
Peace.
Coach Dave,
Bro.
and the Casual Rand.
What up, though?
And we just get used to this, but we want to have a little bit of a protocol. So before we get into the content, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow the channel. We are pundits, but we are kind of new to this format. So we definitely are trying to build up our audience. We appreciate all comments. We encourage the haters. We like all feedback, whether it's positive or negative. But with that said, we have a action-packed night of content, including Loma looking pedestrian in his win, Haney looking big sitting next to Loma, Bivol versus Ramirez, and Morel back in action. But we are going to jump off with the hottest topic of the day. And this is our man, Terrence Bud Crawford, who put out an unedited, just 20-something minute video, and he basically gave us insight into everything that was going on. I thought it was a very revealing, honest, straightforward conversation, and he put a lot of people on blast. So
might have been a little too honest, and may have done well to have some notes, maybe some shit written down before he went and did that. But yeah, I mean, go ahead, finish, Cam. I
was going to hand it off to the pundits. I know that Casual Rand wants to definitely.
Yeah, I said Randy should go first.
Nah, I'm a whole
no, we're going to work up to him. We're definitely going to work up to him. But let's start with you, Boston Jared. So you were a little critical of it. I thought it was for.
I tell you who I was critical of. I was critical of his little henchman friend there, Bernie, who last week after we got off. Almost right after the show, Bernie goes live, and he's calling Al Heyman and Errol all kinds of slurs and shit like that. The PPC shills, in the battle to control the narrative, they need to put something out because Al is mute. Al don't say shit, right? And apparently Errol Spence, all he can do is tweet. So their proxies came out and try to, regain control of the narrative. They put the Bernie shit out, and Bernie sound like a fucking lunatic, man. Bernie sound crazy. Bernie don't need to be around. No microphone.
An insight, for the who.
I don't want to get.
I was saying just kind of situate Bernie into the whole.
Well, like I said, Bernie the boxer, who was a confidant, associate, a team member of Terrence Crawford, went live last Wednesday. And, had a very, very candid take on the discussions, on the failed negotiations and whatnot. Called Terrence Crawford and Al Heyman, accused them of buggery, as it says in some of the Shakespearean texts. Oh, yeah. I'll leave it at that. If y'all don't know what buggery is, I'll let y'all. Well, I'll let the audience go and look that shit up. But I just thought that was a little bit unnecessary. Oddly enough. Nobody really paid much attention to it. I don't know if Bernie took the shit down or what. I heard the shit live. Nobody said nothing about that shit until today, when, the day after Crawford broke the internet, they threw that Bernie shit up. But when it came to Terrence's video that he did last night, yeah, I wasn't surprised. A lot of that shit I had suspected already.
So apparently,
I was surprised that he did the video. I was very, very surprised that he did the video, because he's a guy that frustratingly at times does not get in front of a camera or a microphone and talk that much. He's been accused of that of not promoting.
So I was surprised he was talking numbers too. Apparently, he said so when he threw the 25 million out there, I thought that that was for the fight. Like we had $25 million. So apparently, similar, exactly. I thought it was a purse bid, right? It's similar to a purse bid, but he was saying $25 million a piece.
Guaranteed, homie.
Guaranteed. And he said that he called Errol Spence himself, had a phone conversation. So these are things that can be easily reputed and right there. But that's why, and it wasn't direct quotes, but he was somebody who apparently was speaking directly to Al Heyman. And then apparently
since May. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
They've been talking since May.
Exactly. Well, yeah,
it's a long fucking time.
And then apparently Al Heyman wasn't even interested in even talking about working with. He spoke about 2 hedge funds, and I believe one of them is linked with the BLK Prime because Coach Dave.
I believe Dave dropped the name last week,
did.
right?
Yeah.
Dave, that ECF. What was it, Dave?
Yeah, EFC something was the
management, I think. Yeah, so
of the BLK. So probably was them too.
Yeah. Also mentioned that the hedge fund managers were very familiar with Al Heyman. But he said that. He said, I think, yeah, he said, I think Al Heyman even, well, they did say that they were very familiar with Al Heyman, but go ahead though. Bob. No, but look, not surprising that, and I know we're kind of jumping around. We're not going in order of the issues he addressed in the video, but look, not surprising that, well, damn, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Cam? And maybe I'll remember.
Well, so, I mean, there was a couple of things that I thought that he brought to light. One was the numbers, what I thought were astronomical for a Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight. He also about his ability to
50
really,
million. I mean, 25 million a piece. Yeah.
25 million a piece guaranteed. And he also spoke about his ability to represent himself, even though he did have a lawyer with him when he wanted to kind of go into these talks, and then how Al Heyman wasn't open to the idea at all. And then he accused Errol Spence of being somebody who really doesn't speak for himself or his boxing career or the direction of it.
Right, because he works for Al Heyman. We've known that. The people the talking heads on the internet who will say these PBC guys that are on bosses, it's all bullshit. They all work for Al. They do what the fuck Al tells them to do. But reminds me, thank you, Cam, for saying these. You jog my memory. Not surprising that Al Heyman, given the position he's in currently with his network deal about to expire and allegedly the hedge fund money drying up, not surprising that he's not willing to give this fight up. If I were Al Heyman, I wouldn't let that fight go either. I suspect that Al Heyman is using this agreement with another network.
Swooped in and muted him.
Now you at pause. Go ahead and finish that last sentence.
Did I pause? Oh, sorry. I said what I suspect is that Al Heyman is using the Crawford Spence fight as a bargaining chip to barter a long-term agreement with a network, and it doesn't do him any good. Like, great, $50 million or $25 million, he gets a cut of that, but that's a drop in the bucket compared to what he gets off of a 3-year-long network deal with whoever he ends up with next. Not looking like it's going to be Showtime. Looks like Showtime is going to get absorbed into Paramount Plus. So I don't blame Al. I don't begrudge Al Heyman for going back to Crawford. It's like, hey, fuck the 50 million, nigga. I got 200 plus fighters I got to account for. I can't just let this very, very, very lucrative, high demand fight go off to some streaming service. Errol Spence is one fighter.
Did he say that, or did he say don't cap yourself? You know what I'm saying? Or do we have to? Or are you paraphrasing, or are you putting words in his mouth? What are we going with this, Jared?
Nah, I'm not going anywhere. I was saying that I don't blame Al Heyman. Yeah, he said don't cap yourself, but he also said I'm not letting anybody else touch this fight. Isn't that what Crawford was quoted as saying?
Yeah.
Right. That's where I was going.
But Jared, tell me what promoter in the history of boxing is going to be like, oh, take my fighter and y'all gonna make that 25 million. Then go ahead, I don't need anything. Tell me where that happens. Where does that happen in boxing?
He did it with Andy Ruiz.
So with who?
Anthony Joshua.
I don't think so, buddy.
What do you mean? What?
I don't think so, buddy.
What don't you think?
So? And that's Andy Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? But so y'all don't say
He
nothing.
did it twice with Andy Ruiz.
De La Hoya, when De La Hoya was
fought
like,
on
yo,
DAZN
you
twice.
can't fight Munguia can't fight Charlo because Matchroom or whoever, DAZN puts a lot of money in this, and why would we might not get one of Peter? Why can't DAZN get a piece of that? You explained that well when that was happening with Charlo and Munguia, but when it's the same exact thing, you like, oh, Heyman fucking up the game.
You asked me a question. You said where in the history did it happen? I told you Andy Ruiz. And Sean Porter's another example. Sean Porter, that was the ESPN fight, wasn't it? Okay. Yes.
And I'm sure that PBC got a cut for that too.
Yeah, I mean,
you asked me, Randy. The question you asked me, Randy, was where in history does that happen where a promoter says, go ahead, take my fighter? I answered your question.
Two examples.
And I gave you two examples, recent examples.
I'm going to give you, so I was wrong last week I was wrong about one thing and right about the other.
Probably several things, but one you're admitting to.
I was wrong about was the 65-35 split. Okay, Crawford came out and said that was the case.
That's right. He just said
but what I was right about and what this whole thing was about, neither one of them are as scared or like the whole narrative is one person ducking or the other person ducking. That's not what it's about. It's about Crawford is a horrible businessman.
How?
I'm saying
how you figure that?
The side of his mouth on two different things. So you can't be at no time has he said he was going to be a co-promoter of this, but he want co-promoter rights throughout this.
No,
what do you mean by co-promoter rights?
He's his own boss, so he's
so if you're your own boss, that means you help promote in this fight, right? You got somebody promoting
you can work with a promoter, but what I'm saying is like he went directly to the fighter and to that fighter's representative, and he came with $50 million. This was what I was trying to ask Dave last week. Dave, if you are a promoter for this fight, you put up the money for the venue. You put up the money for all the contractors, the doctors, the medical, you rent the ring, you do everything. Do you let a boxer come in and be like, open the books for me? I want to make sure what you paying for all these people. That's just like last week, Red. That's a just disingenuous question because it's on the false premise. This is somebody who was taking a profit of the net. All right, there, and then as Crawford said that. So you have to ask Dave. Have you ever had a fighter that you agreed to get paid on the back end to get net worth, and then you ask the question?
All right. Now listen to this. This is straight from a promoter's mouth. His former promoter's mouth.
My thought is that I really don't know what happened with the negotiation, but I was always somewhat skeptical that they would result in a fight because Crawford had no promoter. And in order to really make a deal like that, you got to go in with a promoter who is prepared to put up a big guarantee for your side. I mean, it was unfair for him to look at Al and ask for Al to put up a major guarantee because Al had no relationship with him. It's another thing for Spence to ask Al to put up a guarantee because Spence has been Al's fighter. So,
I'm gonna stop it there.
So bad.
I mean, yeah. So
you asked Dave a question.
I'm telling you that if Bud wanted a guarantee, his promotional side was supposed to give him that guarantee, not Al Heyman.
They did. He did. He came with 25. He said, I have this group that is going to give us 25 million guarantee.
Cameron, this is two different points. When the initial argument came like a month ago, it was because PBC wouldn't give him a guaranteed and just offered him the back end. Now this 50 million just came up. And then I argued with that 50 million piece because Al didn't say he needed to take over. He said he wasn't going to give it up, but he also said, why you capping yourself? So I ask you this. How many pay-per-view buys do you think that this fight would generate?
Man,
between 500 and 700.
Yeah. But I mean,
but it's 5 to 750. Dave, what do you think, Dave?
Yeah, let's bring in Coach Dave to the point.
So, a couple of things. So, and y'all know I ain't no super duper, pay through all that crap. I don't like that. But yeah, this fight would have hit 700. I think easy, bro. Easy.
When Canelo Plant did 800.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Well, you're asking my opinion. I'm not arguing about you whether it's right or wrong. You're asking my damn opinion on the fight. So I'm saying it would have got at 700. Probably would have been easy, bro. I'm telling you that hands down. All right. So to second part of Randy's point is, if I'm a promoter, yes, I'm going to be more trusting of a fighter that I have signed. Period. Ain't no ifs, ands, about the buddy. All right. Even if a fighter came to me saying, wow, we have, this 50 million put up, right? I don't know what, and we don't know all exactly, we're streaming it. Since these cats and they're gonna be streaming it, what do they want on the back end of it with all the how much if it's gonna make? So it is absolutely all about money. Me personally, shit. If I was a fighter, I would have got that deal, and then I would let the damn networks work it out. But you got to make a decision. Am I gonna get anything on the back end, or am I just happy with this person? So that's where all the negotiation stuff, kind of in it. And what it seemed like to me is to me, Al was like, hey, yeah, these 25 million is great, but we don't know what was that conversation between, let's say, the investors and Al in terms of that back end.
I mean,
there was no conversation.
There was never
right.
a conversation.
And that's what Spence was trying to say. He was like, man, what about the back end money? Because I asked y'all specifically what y'all think the fight would do. And I said that Canelo did 800,000. And I think they can at least match me. I think they can at least match the 800,000.
Yeah.
Canelo also got $50 million or $45 million guaranteed.
But I'm not counting this. I'm not counting his part. But I'm saying if you did 800,000 at $80 per pay-per-view, you're almost at $70 million. So you can make more in the back end than what's that single 25 million. That's why the back end, you know what I'm saying, you capping yourself off. Just imagine if he did 1 million, if they did 1 million pay-per-views, 25 million would have been the short end of the stick. They could have. But
what if it does less than that? What if a billion motherfuckers stream that shit like they've been doing? Now you way less than the 25 million.
But it's
Deontay Wilder just did 77.
It's your gamble. It's your gamble.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
but if you're Crawford, why gamble when you can get 25 million guaranteed?
You know what I'm saying?
The fighter has done more than
like streaming just started last week. Y'all act like streaming just started last week. When Canelo fought, that was this year, and he had 800,000. So I'm saying this fight would probably do just as good as that fight. So Crawford throwing streaming. Streaming was
it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. Crawford brought that shit up in the video.
But I'm saying because Crawford's gonna say it because Crawford never sold 1,000 pay-per-views. So I'm just saying that y'all bringing up streaming now like is the issue.
Well, Errol Spence has never done 700,000 buys either. Errol Spence has never done 700,000 buys.
He done way more than damn Spence. I mean, Bud.
Not way more. How much is what was Spence most? How much? What was Spence's biggest pay-per-view buy? Well, he did like 320 or
500?
I think against Mikey Garcia was his highest bid, but
he did probably about between 350 and 4.
Hey, let me jump up in here, man. Let me jump up in here. Because I think we missing. You know, it's easy to talk about all the damn money and this money and that money, and which, you know, folks like us, whatever, man, you know, we might not ever even see that money. But let me just quickly turn it back to the most important thing said in that damn interview, man. And y'all know I'm a Bud fan. You know, I've been Team Bud all the way. All right. But let me be crystal clear on record to say, you know, and this is Coach Dave Hawkins saying, I don't give a hell who hears it. The most important thing said out of that damn fight, man, you know, out of that interview was that disappointed me. When the man was asked at 147, at 154, will the fight happen? Bud said he don't think it's gonna happen.
Whoa, that was 2 different videos, Dave. That was a video that Randy sent out.
Yeah.
So I'm not. So I all right. So that video that you sent out, Randy, right? That's the one I'm speaking to.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry, finish.
Right. So in that video, that's the thing that made me be like, okay, what's going on? In the whole discussion about this money and all of that, whatever, you know, I'm seeing with Bud, and I'm a Bud fan. So let's pull those two together, right? If you want to fight, man, yeah, you guaranteed 25 million, but the promoter that owns the fight, that's really the fighter that you want to bang with. That's who you're gonna have to deal with, man. And at the end of the day, do you want this damn that if you whoop Earl's ass, gonna absolutely open up even more doors for you?
How many more doors though, Dave? Well, let me jump in, Dave, because he agreed to take 35% of an unknown number, right? That's what he said. And Randy, you started off your segment with saying that I was wrong last week. Crawford agreed to take 35% of a variable. He has no idea what he's getting 35% of. He said all he wanted was transparency.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give him transparency. That's the end of the negotiation as far as I'm concerned. He already agreed to get to the shit end of the stick. All he wants to know is how much shit he's got to carry on that stick. They wouldn't tell him.
Just like you said, they don't know how much they can sell 500,000 pay-per-views or 1 million pay-per-views. They can't guarantee you that.
I know. What I'm
saying, Randy, come on, fam.
You just want people to be open up to the records, all right? Not like anybody who's advising him would be derelict in their duty if they were saying that, yeah, just whatever they send you, whatever they type there, just accept that. So
just take it. That's crazy.
So one thing that we can agree on, right, is that we're not gonna. So one thing we're gonna agree on is right. We're not gonna listen to cousin, nephews, and all these other ones when they just as legitimate news sources, right? Because that's who you get your sources from.
Because the cousin said he had guaranteed money.
But the point though. But look, though, this is the point I'm getting at, man. This is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm getting at. So look, I know we talk about two, but I'm pulling the two together. Y'all understand like what I'm doing. So even my point of it is if you whoop Earl's ass, you Crawford, and you whoop Earl's ass, right?
Yeah.
Be it Boots coming up, be it old ragged ass Thurman, be it you go up to 154, your stock, if you just book this guy's ass, is significantly raised, and you have that damn that bargaining edge and you can play with it even throughout those weight limits.
Yeah,
All
but
you
Dave,
got.
so you say
I
that-
disagree with that. I
Yeah,
disagree. I disagree.
this is not beating Oscar De La Hoya or a Floyd Mayweather. I mean, Errol
Right.
Spence is this thing. This is a difference, and it's like he's already agreed. He said that. He said, "I believe in myself so much that I will take the short end of the stick, but don't also give me the short end of the stick and then try to fuck me with it. You know, at least
Right.
show me what the you know what I'm saying? At least show me what the numbers are. Like, I know I'm getting the lesser of it, but I mean, how much more do you want Terrence Crawford to take in this situation? I just don't
So
understand.
if they put in the contract, you get 35% of the pay-per-views. What guarantee is it to give you?
But that's not
But that's not what they said, though.
That's not what he said.
What did they
He said
say?
we get
They said
35% of the net
profit.
the net profit.
So he needs to know what the expenses are. If you don't know what the expenses are, Randy, how do you know that your net profit is accurate? They could give you $1.50 and say, "Hey, man, we had 80 gajillion dollars."
I don't understand this. You know what I'm saying? So you going to a company that has put on the biggest pay-per-view boxing event in history. You know what I'm saying? That put on all the top 10 biggest pay-per-view events.
Wait. Who?
Who's done that? No, they
PBC.
haven't. PBC just started or whatnot. So, like, how
They
have they
did
done that?
Canelo. They did Canelo Floyd, and they got
Floyd
and Floyd Pacquiao. Floyd Oscar was on HBO. That wasn't a PBC event.
Wilder.
Hold on. PBC was not formed until Richard Schaefer left Golden Boy. When Oscar De La Hoya fought Floyd Mayweather, that was under Golden Boy. And then when Canelo fought Mayweather, Canelo was with Golden Boy, and it wasn't a PBC.
But let's not go too far down that rabbit hole. Randy, what point are you trying to make so we can debunk this shit quick?
So I'm saying, why would you think? Where have been shown throughout history that PBC shitted a boxer, shitted them out of money or anything? They control the biggest pay-per-view bouts in history, but all of a sudden
there hasn't been any case,
Why do
Randy.
you keep saying that, Randy?
What? Why do I keep saying what?
That they put on the biggest bouts in history.
Pull it up. Let's pull it up.
They look. Well, I see what he's saying.
It says right here. It
Saying.
says that PBC started in 2015, right? And it said that.
So they started 2015. When was Pacquiao? What was Pacquiao Mayweather?
I was like 2016, 2017.
2016. When was Canelo? When was Canelo Mayweather?
That was like 2013 or
That's
12.
no. Canelo Mayweather.
Guys, we going way out
That
into
was
left field
14.
here.
So that was 14. So
Okay, and they started in 15. And they started in 15.
I'm saying,
Randy, what point are you trying to make, man? Because we kind of going off on a tangent here.
Al Heyman has been in control, putting on the biggest fights in our generation, right? I'm not talking like maybe Holyfield Tyson, but all of a sudden he want to dick over somebody who can't sell and has no viewership, but I'm just gonna fuck him over.
But Randy, he's never ever, only one other time has he negotiated with a promotional free agent, and that was when he got Tyson Fury up off the couch to go fight Deontay Wilder. After that fight, if you recall, the first thing Tyson Fury did was run to a promoter because he knew that having a promoter, he knew that having a promoter was going to ensure he wasn't going to get fucked over. The PBC niggas told Terrence Crawford,
no,
wait,
hold on. Come on, you know, one PBC nigga, that was Adrian Broner, told him.
No. See, you don't even know what I'm talking about. The PBC motherfuckers told him to leave Al to come over here so we can make the fight. He leaves he leaves Bob. They said, leave Bob and come over here. He leaves Bob, comes to them as a free agent, and they still can't get the fight done. So what you want this cat to do? He took the short end of the stick.
Is the hold up, but don't say it's PBC is the hold up. It's Bud the hold up.
That's a technicality. You're right. Bud is the hold up because Bud is not going to take 35% of X. Well, he don't know what the fuck X is.
Well,
He'd be a dumbass. And he still agreed to that.
Black Prime is promoting his next fight. Why didn't Black Prime come in and talk to PBC on his behalf then?
Pete, well, for what I've deduced, he went to Errol Spence on behalf of the two people who offered the 25 mil. And I think one of those two was Black Prime.
This is what frustrates me. This is what frustrates me. You think that somebody that helped build your career, put you on a stable where you can get the 3 belts, because those 3 belts belong to was in the PBC stable. So I helped you build your career, you become a 3-time champion, but now allow you just to walk away.
Randy, I spent 5 minutes. Randy,
what promoter does that, man?
Randy, I spent 5 minutes. I spent 5 minutes explaining why I understand why Al Heyman wouldn't want to do that. I literally spent 5 minutes saying I understand why Al wouldn't want to do that. Didn't I do that, Cam?
So I don't understand why we keep bringing up the 25 million, because one, for the 2 reasons I explained. The one, you're not going to let Spence is not just going to walk away from PBC to fight that one fight and to be like, oh, I'm gonna come back. And 2, Al Heyman was like, yo, why are you capping yourself? You do it this way, we do it right with promotions. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Even with the promotion, I wouldn't even do it the Black Prime way. We're a month out. We're a month and maybe a month and what, 7 days out from the Terrence Crawford fight. And what promotion y'all seen on that?
We haven't seen any promotion. We haven't seen any promotion. What point does that make?
Yeah, what point does that make?
You got to promote a fight.
If you're the fighter, if you're the fighder, you're guaranteed money. Like
you get your guaranteed money.
You want to fight.
All right.
We need to end this.
It's just, I guess we 2 different ways of looking at it. That's why Bud and Top Rank didn't get along, and that's why Errol Spence and PBC get along. Bud always wanted guaranteed money. And then Al was
that's not true. What you're saying is not true. They did get along. He re-signed. Why did he re-up with them? Why did they even offer him an opportunity to re-up if they weren't getting along?
Bob Arum said he can build a house in Malibu off the money he lost from Terrence Crawford.
That was after he re-signed with them. They offered him a contract to re-sign. Off the belief
that Terrence Crawford would be a draw and become a household name and build money. Terrence Crawford never promoted himself. Terrence Crawford never fought a dangerous fighter.
So why would they offer him another contract? Why would they offer him another contract?
They didn't offer him a 3rd contract.
They offered him a 2nd one. You said he never promoted himself. They
offered him the 2nd one when he came up to be a champion. So he came up and be 147. And that's when they offered him that contract before.
But you said they never got along, and he never promoted himself.
4 years ago, bro.
You just read it.
Guys. I mean, what point is that making? Come on, guys.
And he never promoted himself. So why wouldn't they just cut their losses
within the last 5 years? Let's say that then.
All right, guys. So one thing I want to say is that PBC, they broadcast their first fight in March 7th, 2015. And the highest pay-per-views have been Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather, which was in February 2015. That's not a PBC fight. They were a part of Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, which was in August of 2017. Canelo, the next is third is Canelo versus Floyd Mayweather, which was in 2013. Then it was Floyd Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya, 27. So I just don't understand the narrative of they've been this big pay-per-view.
So you don't think Al Heyman was Mayweather's manager at the time?
He didn't.
He's not his manager. He's a financial advisor.
He's an advisor. He didn't promote it. Okay.
That would be a violation of the Ali Act.
All right. So let's look. So pull up from 2015 to now and see what the biggest pay-per-views were.
All right.
It was Canelo Golovkin. And then it was Wilder Fury.
Yeah, Canelo Golovkin's 1 and 2. The Wilders. Canelo Bilbo was up there for last year, 2021. It was the highest one.
Yeah, but I mean, it was lower than Wilder's fights, and it was lower than
Wilder's PBC.
Yep.
So I mean, I understand you nitpicking, but like, all right, he wasn't.
No, you acting like that.
All right.
You told me that they in the history of boxing,
in our generation,
they've been around 7 years.
In our generation, or within the last 10 years, PBC has been involved in the biggest pay-per-views in boxing.
Because they don't have.
Yes. Yeah, he has. But again, I don't understand what point that proves. It's not guaranteed money. It's not guaranteed money.
When was the last time that they did
you have no idea.
When was the last time they did
you have no
I said biggest. Did I Cameron, at one point did I say put on millions of pay-per-views? I said the biggest.
Well,
800,000.
You're not doing
If 800,000 was the biggest last year, that means it was 800,000. It was the biggest, right?
And the pay-per-view buys have declined year by year. Each big event, they keep making less and less. Motherfuckers don't want to pay for this shit. And this idea, this is another thing another point I want to make. This idea that you hear from some of these talking heads on YouTube that if these companies make the best fights, people will pay for them.
They will.
Is bullshit.
Niggas
is not going to pay.
They will pay for more. They do that, man. They're tired of boxing. They're tired of boxing, man. Why do you think?
I don't know that it's that.
They are, man. They're tired of the pot. Like this strains me to no end. When you look at the UFC, which is just a promotional company, if they throw out Conor McGregor or even a Habib Nurmagomedov, they're gonna do $1 million plus. They the thing is like
because their views have been dropping too. But their views have been dropping too.
Well, not because
they don't have a Conor McGregor anymore.
What I was gonna say, they're looking for the next superstar. But the thing is that they make the fights at the right time. They don't go in like this. This fight is gonna be the sell by date for this fight is gonna be well long extended, just like with the with the Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
It is. You're right. But again, people have so many ways of getting the shit for free. Why would you pay for this shit? Like, I mean,
it's a social aspect that a lot of people don't understand. Also, like the restaurants can't stream it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go to bars and restaurants to watch the fights.
I know either last year or this year that whatever Jake Paul. I'm not talking about his latest fight, but he sold over $1 million when he fought.
Yeah, and then every TV in a restaurant that has a fight going, and that TV has to pay for the pay-per-view. So
right, but a million buys is tough. It's exceedingly difficult to achieve a million buys.
The way the culture is right now is
23.
It is,
but to Cameron's point. If the top fighters start fighting and it becomes a household name again, I think people will pay for the pay-per-views and people will start going back out. Like I remember back in the day, Buffalo Wild Wings used to show the fights. But now Buffalo Wild Wings won't show any fight besides UFC.
Well, they get charged so much money for the fights. Yeah, I mean, they get charged a lot of money.
And then they're not guaranteed that the reason that they would show the fight because they know that they're guaranteed this crowd and they would have a charge, right? They would have.
Like I said, so it's a social aspect to it. But I think the social that part it's been in decline because the level of competition that boxing is starting to put out.
I think that it's the access that people have to these illegal streams. I mean, it's like a quality piece of clothing. Like will you pay for these Gucci sneakers because they're quality, or if I give you a free pair of Gucci sneakers, the same pair, you're not gonna take them. You're gonna take the free pair of Gucci sneakers. Niggas is not gonna pay for shit they don't have to pay. I mean, nobody is. Like it's
I mean, if I'm having some people over and I'm saying that hey, I'm gonna have the fight, then I'm gonna pay for the so that's the show. So the social aspect of it. If I'm alone by myself, I might stream it or do that. But if I'm having people over, I'm not gonna be trying to trust this stream, this illegal stream.
The point is, though, in this day and age, and Crawford brought this up specifically with Errol, at least that's what he said. It is very, very hard to guarantee. It's hard to get that million buys you need to really, really fill your pockets on that back end. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. A $25 million bird in the hand. And I know what Randy's going to say. He wasn't going to leave. Why is the 25 million even an issue? It's tough to walk away from that. And if you're Crawford, he ended up walking away for 10 million guaranteed. Al wasn't giving him any guaranteed money. Ulgas got guaranteed money. Danny got guaranteed money. All these guys, Porter got, all these guys got guaranteed money. None of those fights were for undisputed. You can't even match what you gave to Ulgas and then say, hey, we're going to give you 35% of the back end.
So you
guaranteed money.
You didn't hear anything that Top Rank just said. He said, hey, Bob said that, yo, it's your promoter that gives you that that guaranteed money.
So what?
Fighter's promoter.
Well, I'm Terrence Crawford. I'm a pound for pound fighter. I represent the last piece of the undisputed puzzle.
You arguing something that a real promoter that really does this, that really lives this, just said that, look, in fights at this magnitude, a boxer can't go to the opposite promoter and ask for guaranteed money. It's up to your promoter to guarantee you your money.
But so what you're saying is that Al Haymon is derelict in his duties, because if Errol Spence wants to, he's not doing what it takes to make the fight, because he's not even willing to guarantee Crawford what he guaranteed Ulgas for a unification. He's not willing to guarantee $1 million to Crawford for an undisputed fight. So Al Haymon is derelict in his duty.
Who's Ulgas signed to?
He signed a PBC.
So what was the point I just made? In that,
I have no fucking idea what point you just. What point you just made?
The point is, the opposing fighter's promotion company is the one that's supposed to give the guaranteed money. Ulgas is so signed. Ulgas and Spence were both signed to PBC, so both of them get paid guaranteed money.
But Crawford's a free agent,
so his free agency, whoever money he getting money from is supposed to front him.
He has nobody to front him. He's a free agent.
The free agent.
Well, then he don't get no guarantee.
We all agree.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's
we all agree. We all agree.
That's what Bob Arum just said.
I know, but listen, Bob Arum is speaking as a promoter. He wants every fighter to have a promoter. If fighters are free agent and they're negotiating on their own, then he's out of a job.
That still don't change the fact that your fighter get their guaranteed money from your promoter. If you don't have one, then you can't go. You can't go to the opposition and be like, "Hey man, let me get this."
If you don't have one, you go and talk to somebody and say, "Hey, I can get you this guaranteed," and then you bring that to them, and then they say, "No, I'm not going to do that." That's just that's what happened, right?
And that's exactly.
Because Errol Spence. So it's like I started off with this. This is just different views of promotion. So like throughout Errol Spence's career, he got minimal guaranteed. He would take like $1 million guaranteed, and all his money came from back end, because he knew he was going to sell from 300 to 500,000 pay-per-views, and that will guarantee him for
that's nonsense. That's not, he's made that shit up. He may have done that shit one time, Randy.
He's always
like, what are you talking about?
He did that shit out last year.
All right, guys. So we've been on this topic for 45 minutes. Yeah, we've been on this topic for 45.
Dumb. It's dumb, because Terrence Crawford was on Top Rank making more money than Errol Spence.
And that's why Top Rank that's why he's suing Top Rank now. That's not why he's suing Top Rank. That's not why he's suing Top Rank. All right. So you comparing Errol Spence, who never had a public beef with his promotion company. His promoter's happy. He's happy in their arrangement. And then you compare it to wait. How
do you know that? How do you know that Errol Spence is happy?
I just said,
guys, we've been on this.
I just said that they didn't come out with a public beef. I said there's never been any public discourse. So to me, that shows that Al Haymon and company is happy, and Errol Spence and company is happy.
You don't think there might be a non-disparagement clause?
We're gonna talk the whole show about this.
Let me finish.
How many times are you gonna finish, Randy?
So then you're gonna compare it to Bud, who always asks for guaranteed up front. always, and then Bob Arum comes out and says he is steady losing money promoting Terrence Crawford. And
Yeah,
now
Bob Arum shouldn't have offered him another contract if he was losing money.
Bro, this is
How many
like,
fights did he fight? How many fights did he fight with Bob Arum?
3.
Bob Arum been in the business for 90
147.
fucking years. If you losing money, don't offer him another contract. They offered him another contract. Bob Arum full of shit. Go ahead, Cam.
Everybody's full of shit. Everybody's full of
man,
shit.
y'all take over the show, bro. Come on, like,
Go ahead,
what the
man.
hell, bro?
Hey man, hey, look, hey yo, man. So all right, that end of that shit, man. End of that shit. I just let the motherfuckers fight when they fight on that one, man. Let them fight when they fight, man. So where we at on the time, Cam? Because that shit was long, bro.
This is Professor Nims. I'm signing off for my man, Coach Dave.
Rude, man. Rude.
The Casual Ran.
Peace.
And Boston Jarrett. Keep it popping.
Peace.
Make sure that y'all like and subscribe. And like what you said, we want to give you the most educated opinions on the net. All right, peace out.